Prepare yourself for some scary, some unexplained, and some frightening dashcam footage you won't want to miss. Lightning struck and started a forest fire in California on August 1st of 2021, which eventually went by the name Antelope Fire. Over the following days and weeks, the fire quickly expanded and several groups of fire engines were dispatched to the region to try and contain it. The video you're seeing was captured at 1 a.m. on September 10th. This truck was one of many in a group sent out that night. It was traveling on the road that was close to the fire, but due to the direction of the wind at the time, it was swiftly overtaken.
I mean, this was all fine when we were driving down here 2 hours ago. But I guess when it got away from us back there, went a little bit deeper interior and just...
244, engine 1671, keep driving as fast as you can, come on.
Yeah, we need to go. This guy's driving slow, but we need to get the f*** out of here. Drive, bro. Holy.
Engine 334, 1671, where are you? Are you in section 14 yet?
Go.
Hey, 334 is turning
Go,
around,
dude.
the other way.
This guy needs to
Heading
drive.
north? We're going to start heading south.
Oh.
Hey, we're backing up. We're cut off heading north out of... Copy that. Yeah, we're just going to turn around.
Turning around is not an option.
There is no option to turn around. They were forced off the road to find an alternate route because the road ahead of them had been consumed by the flames, and by this point, so had the road behind them.
Go. Yeah. Oh. Go. Stop. Holy.
Hey, you guys pull back.
Road. Yep. Get on the road. Oh. Come on. Get on that road.
I'm trying.
Oh. That road. Get here.
Hey, help! I'm down, man. Stop! I'm down.
Oh my God.
Stop! Let me in.
Oh.
We might have lost some people.
Oh, dude. Go. Go. Holy, dude. Oh my God.
Finally, they managed to escape the fire, but some of the other trucks weren't as fortunate, and a few of those were severely damaged. However, aside from one of the drivers who sustained burns to his hands, all of the other firefighter survivors were unharmed, and it wasn't until October 15th that the fire was fully contained. The dashcam footage was captured from a pickup truck in Chile. The driver had just entered a highway on-ramp and was moving forward when the car in front of him began to slow down. Eventually, they came to a complete stop, at which point the doors of the car opened, revealing two men, one of whom was holding what appeared to be a gun. At first, the driver quickly tried to reverse out of the way, but there was now a car behind him, so he had no choice but to push forward. The brake lights of the attacker's vehicle are seen turning on during the push, but this has absolutely little effect because the truck pushed far enough forward for the driver to get onto the highway. Police were handed the video in order to help them identify the men. Additionally, it was shared online, where a few days later the real owner of the car the men were using recognized it to be their own. It turned out that the car had been stolen a few days prior to the recording of this video, which is what made police think that the men were also attempting to steal the pickup. What would you have done? Now we are looking at another terrifying dashcam encounter that was shared by a young man who was on his way home from work that night. He had to travel through a forest on a lonely road, and many local legends mention various spirits that frequent this area and occasionally try to hitch a ride. The man was so uneasy that he had to stop driving for a moment once he emerged from the forest. Our teenage driver briefly stops the vehicle to see a woman in white standing in the center of the road disappear. It almost looks like she's sweeping herself underneath the moving vehicle and sliding backwards and interfering with the dashcam at the moment. Some claim that this is the result of the footage being edited to cover a cut, which is plausible, but if that's not the case, we could be in for a spooky ghost encounter. The next video is undoubtedly one of the most enigmatic ones. It was captured by a truck driver using his dashcam as he delivered freight in the rear of his large vehicle. It was still early in the morning when he observed something or someone on the road that hadn't been there minutes earlier. It's definitely odd to say the least. A tall man wearing a white jacket appears to emerge from the back of the truck in front. The driver appears to be avoiding collision, indicating that the man has just appeared on the road. If this isn't a ghost, are we seeing the actions of a crazy person who isn't scared of being hit? What do you think is going on here?